Hello. I wanted to explain ASL poetry. I want you to understand that ASL poetry is different from regular poetry. This type of poetry is hearing, using English writing. That kind of poetry has a whole different many different kinds, like alliteration, free verse, rhetoric, all different types. ASL poetry, it's strictly deaf. It's completely different. ASL poetry is not the same as written poetry. ASL poetry has more facial expression, using hand shapes, using numbers, using a variety of different hand shapes. Our way of celebrating deaf language and celebrating ASL. You know, ASL, it's such a beautiful, colorful language. It's really beautiful. Deaf create the poetry to explain different topics, different themes, or they use their expression of, that's their expression of ASL. ASL poetry is really important. It's a really important part of deaf culture. Really, really important part. And I want to give you an example. You see the gorilla? I'm going to use the hand shape, this hand shape here. I'm going to explain what the gorilla looks like, what the gorilla does, using only one hand shape. I'm not going to change it. You know that picture of the gorilla? If I'm using ASL, if I'm using true ASL, I might say something like, the gorilla's huge, he's got huge arms, he's got hair all over his body, his nostrils flare in and out like this, you know, his arms, he stands like this. That's ASL. But ASL poetry is different. You're using just one hand shape only. Okay, so I'm going to show you. So like that. That's just an example. Just using one hand shape only. And that's ASL poetry. You'd be surprised at how many poets are out there, just so creative. They can do things in so many different ways. It's really fun to watch. So now for your class, your cluster activity to do with your group, your students, I'm going to show you this picture. You can see that it's an elephant. And I want you to practice ASL poetry using this hand shape. Remember, don't change it. Don't sign. You're not using sign language. You're using this hand shape to explain and describe the elephant. Describe what you see. Describe that. Just you can practice together, one-on-one, or do it as a group activity. Or you can just have maybe, you know, one teacher, two students, whatever works best for your group. You can do that. So I hope you enjoyed this video.